Every day, we build the world around us.
But who's checking in on us?
Welcome to Built For Us.
It's a brand new podcast.
Built by construction workers, for construction workers.
It's our own honest space.
There's no scripts, there's no suits. It's just
Real talk about mental health, stress.
And showing up for each other.
Welcome back to Built For Us podcast by construction workers, for construction workers. Clive's only back here with me again. We got another topic. Clive, should we speak about fatherhood and like mental health around fatherhood and whatnot?
Yes.
Go on, my friend, take the mic. Tell me.
Oh, no, I'd love to do it. I don't know whether you've got 5 minutes or 5 hours, but I'm going to go
Let's
for it.
Let's do the 5 hours. I don't think Tim will be happy about that, but let's do it.
So I've been a dad since I was 21. So my eldest son is 34. And then they go down to 32, 30, and 18.
Wow.
So I've never had a front door, always had a revolving door, total riot, wouldn't change it for a second, purely because I've talked about this before, so forgive me if I repeat myself, but that's a support network that not everyone's got, right? So
Spot on.
It's and my wife, goodness me, I've took the in sickness and in health too far. I've known her since I was 12. We've been married forever, and she's I can't explain her. She's unbelievable. But the point of this conversation, James, is that being a dad, whether even if if your mental health is not compromised in any way, fatherhood will compromise it along the way. It's not easy, whether it's a boy or a girl. It's not easy. Now, my own dad, he loved me very much, and he was my hero. However, he was emotionally void. He through no fault of his own. It was his upbringing. He was born in 1937, packed off to school, boarding school, packed off straight into the army. He didn't hug his dad. He shook his dad's hand, my granddad, and therefore I did as well. And he had absolutely no skills at all in angry, sad, upset, frustrated. He'd keep it in, bury it, stiff upper lip. And thankfully, it's made me completely the opposite. With the help of my wife and through making mistakes. I tell my boys, don't matter, they're bigger and uglier than me now, but I tell them that I love them all the time. And they do for me as well, by the way. Both ways. But it's difficult. With each of them, I went from being the coolest, hardest, biggest dad on the block. Overnight, all of a sudden, I'm the biggest embarrassment. My son's voice has dropped a little bit and dad's not cool. And all of a sudden you think, well, hang on a minute, I need to navigate this and I need to be their mate as well as their dad. And that's not always easy because you still have to tell them what's what and you still have to keep that pecking order. But if you can be their mate, you're keeping that conversation going. They're far more likely to come to you when they need help or they've made a mistake and all that. So I've learned so much, as we all do. It doesn't come it doesn't come with an information book, does it? Or
no, not at all.
But I have to say that when I was poorly and I was, there was a perfect storm for me over a 2-year period and it was completely bonkers. My youngest son, who's 18 now, he was at a tender age. You're talking sort of, 14, something like that, even younger, 13. And whether we like it or not, doesn't matter how level-headed he is and how mature he is, he's too young to be seeing and hearing a lot of the stuff that was going on and a lot of stuff that... so we've learned as a family. We've learned, as I say, through mistakes as well as successes. But yeah, it really is a challenge to get that balance right, to support them, for them to support you, and to be there for each other.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, very similar. I was 21 when I had my daughter, and she's 25 now. And for the first 10 years, I was massively in addiction. Never there. When I was there, I was always making up for what I'd done in the past. I definitely wasn't there emotionally. And then, like now, when I got sober when she was 10, like now, not that I've got a lot of making up to do. I have got a lot of making up to do. Yeah, I have got a lot of making up to do. I don't have any guilt, shame, and remorse around it now because I've dealt with that and I've made my amends.
Good.
And I make a daily amends to all my family, not just my daughter, but we'll go for my daughter. I make a daily amends by staying clean and sober daily to show her that this is my promise to you that we won't be going back to those dark times again. And they were very dark. And she remembers them. She remembers about 70% of them. But thank God for a mum. I'm not with a mum. I'm with an amazing woman now. I've been with her a good few years. But her mum saved me because she'd come home from school and she'd say, "Where's Dad? Oh, he's poorly." Wasn't. I was livid in bed or off my nut in bed, and she'd lock me in the room. She'd save me a lot. She'd save her daughter, but she still saw a lot.
Yeah.
But it was all that I mean, again, this is back in 2000. This is back in 2000.
Yeah.
When she was born. And it's like, I never heard mental health until after lockdown. That's me personally. Even though it was just called different things, but it wasn't as talked about as it is now. And it's still not talked about enough. We know that. But suffering, but I was also, I said, her mum sort of looked after me. So it shielded them a lot. But going with my dad, we were very loving. There's an older brother, my brother's best friend, which I also call a brother. He came into our lives when he was 16. I was about 13. And there was a lot of love in our house. We told, like you told, we all said that we loved each other. We all give hugs. There was no hand. We get, when we walked into anyone, hugs and all that, and it's all loving. It's amazing, and I've carried that on now into. God, I hug anyone. Hug anyone, guys. I don't even. Hey mate, how are you doing? You okay? And I don't see it. Just showing the love. Yeah, it's just showing a bit of love to people that maybe haven't got it. Yeah. But I've had to work hard through my addiction when I was 31, 46 now. I know I don't look it.
No, you're doing well.
No, I don't. I've had to work. I've had to put a shift in. Yeah. To get where I am, to get a great frame of mind, and build this relationship back up with my daughter. Yeah. Because it was absolutely shattered. Yeah. At the end of my addiction in 2009, I weren't allowed to see her for 9 months because I couldn't even look after myself. When I got sober in 2010, I started to build a relationship back up with her. And then when I was 5 years sober, she emigrated to Canada at 15 with her mum and all her side of the family. Wow. Within 3 months, I had a breakdown. Didn't drink or use, but I had a breakdown. I was absolutely beside myself, Clive, in bits. Got put on stage 3 disciplinary at work because I kicked off at work because I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. Anyway, didn't drink or anything like that. She was in Canada a year, and we used to FaceTime a lot. Anyway, she rang me February 2016, and she just said, "Dad, I want to come home." I was like, right, okay. She said, "I miss you. I miss all my family. I want to come home." I went, "You live with your mum out there now, Charlie?" I said, "You're 15." She went, "I'm 16 in April. I can do what I want then. I'm an adult." Right. I had a chat with her mum. Long story short, yeah, come and get her. So I flew over to Canada, brought her back, and she lived with me until she moved out at 19 and bought her own place. And the point I'm making is I weren't allowed to see her for 9 months. And it only struck me when she'd been back in the country 2 or 3 months. I thought, I'm your sole guardian. I'm your parent. Your mum's still in Canada. How's that come about? This is a guy that was homeless. Yeah. Living on the streets, yellow, couldn't stop drinking, couldn't stop using, all his family disowned. And now I'm looking after my 16-year-old daughter. Yeah. What is that? That's incredible. And this is, as I said, building the relationships back up. It's just amazing. It's very, very hard. Yeah. It's very, very hard because one of my, even today, Clive, one of my, not downfalls, but one of my hiccups that I struggle with a lot is saying no.
I get that. I understand that.
And she'll, Dad, I'm struggling. No problem. What do you need? And sometimes I think, I hope you don't watch this podcast, by the way. And sometimes I'm thinking, you know what, James? I know deep down you're not doing any favours here. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. But as my brother said, I've got a bit of making up too, though, ain't you?
Yeah.
if it's a few grand here, a few grand there, you've got a little bit of making up to do. And I think, yeah, you know what, I have. And if I can ease the burden, if my mum's got a great saying, if money can sort out a problem, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, very true.
It's when money can't sort out a problem, that's when you've got a problem. Something else, like something like that. So I always try and be there for her now and whatnot. But yeah, it's very, very difficult. It is at times.
No, it is, and I understand what you mean, because you can look upon your own struggles in life, however dark they might have been. But because I learned something about growth and development from trauma, and I hadn't really heard that before or understood it or paid it any attention until I went through it myself. And when someone then said to me, well, Clive, you've grown from this experience as a person. No, it's not because you've got bigger and better. It's just you've changed and your skill sets have improved. That's because of the trauma and the journey you've been through. So what that does, certainly to me, James, is it makes you look at your children sometimes and think, well, is a bit of adversity, and I'm not talking about trauma, but I'm on about in life, a bit of a challenge and a bit of adversity. Is that a bad thing? Can it be bad if some dads just say, oh, don't worry. Yeah, here's my credit card, or here's this, or here's, don't worry about going to work. Just forget it. Have a week off. Sometimes that can be detrimental, can't it?
Yeah, massively.
Because you're not helping foster that person's, that daughter, that son's own resilience.
Correct.
And so isn't it difficult, mate? Ultimately, we will give them the money if they need it, and we will support them. Of course we will.
Of course.
But we also want to keep it real. We want to keep it real.
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. We want to be able to get them to see that discovering their own path and putting their head through above the parapet a little bit and think, well, that actually wasn't quite as bad as I thought. Mom or dad didn't actually have to sort that out for me, and I can learn from that. Even if they got it wrong, they can still learn from it. And again, I'm not talking about trauma. I'm just talking about life and the adversity in life. Sometimes as a dad, we need to allow them to sometimes get it wrong.
Well, that's just brought me on to just a little subject. So our Charlotte, my daughter's called, she blessed us with our first grandchild in the whole family. So my mum's a great grandma.
Wonderful.
And he's 18 months old, and we have him twice a week sometimes. We have him twice a week, and every third week we have him over for the weekend.
Nice.
And he's mega. And I think because I've missed out on my daughter's life for the first 10 years, I didn't miss out, but I wasn't there as I should be.
Yeah.
I'm putting extra into my grandson. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah. And as I said before, I have the most amazing partner that just like, she's just a doer. She just does.
Yeah.
But it ticks the box with what you've just said. He's just started, he walks now, but a few months ago he was starting to walk, and he'd feel like a little drunk person.
Yeah.
And he'd go to fall, and I'd go to grab him, and only fall on his bum, and my missus would go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to learn, I said, no, he nearly fell. Yeah. And he'll get back up. Yeah. He's got to do it.
Yeah.
So with what you just said there, you've got to let them become resilient themselves.
Yeah.
We can't wrap them, even though we want to, can't wrap them up in the cotton wool all the time, because we're doing him no favours.
No, bang on. And I mean, I'm a granddad. I've got 4 grandchildren. I've got a few years on you, but yeah, they're and they are. It's a different type of love, isn't it? You have your children.
Oh my, yes.
You think, how could I ever, like with your wife, how could I ever love anybody like that? Then a child comes up, and it's just slightly different. And then you think, wow, this has opened up new emotions, new feelings. How could I ever get this again? And then the grandchildren, it's something else. You're nourished by something completely new.
Amazing.
But all I would say to you, and obviously I don't know your daughter, and I don't know your story, but what I would say to you, mate, is that you're not overcompensating for that grandchild. You're just expressing what's coming out of your heart to that grandchild, and your daughter will see and feel that.
Yeah, of course.
She won't be thinking, "Oh, Dad's ruining him again," or "He never did that for me." She will see your growth. She will see all the things wonderful things that you're doing with your life ever since your challenges, and the love that you're giving to your grandchild will also nourish her as well.
Yeah, massively. Absolute. Well said. Well said indeed. So I just want to touch on, because this is how times have changed. So even though we were very loving in our house and stuff like that, my dad would be like, at 16, something's happened. He'd like, "Come on, James, stop being soft. Come on. Come on." And it was all that mentality. He'd still be loving them, put his arms on me, like, "Right, enough now." What you said before, the stiff upper lip and stuff, it's like, "Come on, let's go for a pint." Because that's going to sort it out. Whereas now, I don't think I've ever said to my daughter, "Come on, stop being soft. Come on, man up, or stop acting like that. You've got loads to live for." Because they must go through it. You know what? Come to think of it, Clive, social media, these bloody things are horrendous.
Massively.
These are horrendous. And I know that from personal experience. These must, I think, a lot of mental, not a lot, but that's a factor in it for kids.
No doubt about it.
A huge. So what's their challenges? What are they feeling and stuff? And it's different from what we were feeling back in the day.
It's another world, isn't it? You know, if I had a difficult conversation or a fight even, or something like that with somebody at school, apart from the best mate that maybe you'd see after school, that situation wasn't really revisited until when you went back to school the next day. Whereas now our children and it'll be our grandchildren, they've got constant, instant reactions to everything they say or do. And they're just as guilty because they're offering it to the world sometimes, and they're being taken by everything else. And I don't think I'd have coped very well with that at all, James, if I'm honest. I agree. My head would have been all over the place. So, yes, you know, they're more tech savvy, and they've had to be. And yes, they understand how things work. But you're absolutely right. That social media world is so dangerous. And I know I sound like an old fart now. I know. But and doing what we do in our lives, they have massive advantages, you know, in terms of networking and making.
Yeah, of course they do.
But getting dragged into that whole, you know, comparison, you know, we all know comparison's, you know, a thief of joy. I understand that. But, you know, the idea that people that have got successful businesses, it was easy. They did it in 5 minutes. They've now got a Lamborghini. They're smoking a cigar and they've got millions. And we don't see how many times they went wrong. We don't see the years it took to get there, or the fact that it's all fake anyway. And it's not actually real. You know, it's just not. And, you know, as they get older and they see more of the world, they work that out for themselves. But
of course,
you can't help but be having a huge impression by what they're reading and seeing all the time. It's
constant.
Really is, mate.
Constant. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I honestly don't. I'm very, very happy that I didn't have to deal with that. I really am.
Massively. I would love to go back to the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
They were great decades. I bet you'd love to go back to the 70s, wouldn't you?
Hey, listen, you can go off a person really quick, can't you? I like it. I'll get you back. I'll remember that one.
Hey, I bet you will. But honestly, so for the listeners, thank you so much for listening to Clive and I again. Listen, tell us your thoughts. Put some comments in the bottom. Tell us your thoughts. If you're struggling, put some comments on. One of us will pick it up and obviously help best we can. But yeah, thank you so much for listening again to Clive and I. Built for Us podcasts by construction workers.
For construction workers.
Yes, he's got it. Pleasure, as always.
Thank you, my friend. You take
Thank
care.
you, brother. You too. Thanks for viewing this episode. We really appreciate your support. Remember, follow us, subscribe, share with a mate, join us live. Built for Us. Let's build something stronger together.